I dare to dream, think, live, inspire. Hi everyone, it is Michelle Jean from Michelle Jean Books coming at you with another video. And as always, if you are seeking knowledge, this is where knowledge begins. Now, with that being said, let me just jump into this video. And the title of this video is called The Devil Cannot. And the song that I've given you is Save the World by Peter Morgan. The devil cannot be anything but the devil. So I do not know why anyone would think the devil and his people can change. Divide is divide, and the devil will do all to divide blacks, conquer blacks, control blacks, enslave blacks, take blacks from life by any means necessary, and the devil is doing just that. Blacks have been conquered, blacks have been enslaved, and will be enslaved again if we don't truly unite to save us. Blacks are controlled, therefore, their racism and systemic racism across the board. So I so have to look into reverse psychoanalysis when it comes to how whites play blacks in their game of cat and mouse and more. Therefore, we as blacks are their true game test subjects, barn animals that they can buy and sell, slaughter at will. And as blacks, we see this and continue to play their ill game in games. As blacks, look at what's happening to black Americans, how they are being killed at will. Like the police force over there, they don't care, they just slaughter them anyways, because we are a part, we are their game. And it's time we learn this. You know, the time for crying is over. It's time we as blacks vacate the lands they stole from us. Let them keep the Americas. The Americas are cursed. Blood has and have been spilt on land, and those spilt blood have and has tainted the land. Literally cursed the Americas from generation onto generation. So let them fight for it. As blacks, let them keep it. Move out of it, come out of it. It's time black people find another home. It's time to rise up, time to acquire true knowledge and leave all who hurt us to die in their own sorrow. Bread of sad tomorrow, as Bob Marley so eloquently put it. We can, as a nation, as a race and people, we can do better for ourselves. We can change the dynamic of Earth, but we have to truly unite together. We have to come together, peacefully and truthfully in order for the dynamics of Earth to change. As blacks, we need to know that the devil's children and people will never like us because we are the chosen of life, the true and living God. So, why are we fighting to be amongst the devil's own? Why do we dine with them, build them, procreate with them, die like and with them, go to hell with them and like them? Why do we forsake not only ourselves, but God to be amongst them, the devil's children and people? As blacks, why do we kill, our own to face death with them as well as die like them, just to repeat myself? If the devil don't like you, the devil will not like your God, the true and living God. I repeat, if the devil don't like you, the devil will not like your God, the true and living God. And the devil truly do not like us. Therefore, the devil truly do not like the true and living God. All the devil is doing is taking you, all of us, from life. Therefore, the immoral values that we are given to live by so that we can die. And as blacks, we are not looking into this. So as blacks, why are we not thinking as blacks? Why are we not doing right by us and for us? The devil's law and the laws were not and never will be set to save us. Those law and laws were made to break us as well as enslave us, not just here on earth, but in the spiritual realm also. Therefore, know your true death is not the death of flesh, but the death of spirit, your spirit. So, as Max, we have to change. We have to change the way we think. We have to change the way we eat. We have to change the way we interact with each other. We can no longer be crabs in a barrel. We can no longer fight alongside our enemies and think that when we go on the battlefield of death with them, we are saved. We are not saved. We are just literally killing ourselves physically and spiritually. So, as blacks, if you think you've cried now, truly wait until tomorrow. Listen to the song Save the World by Peter Morgan. It also tells you how we are living, and we need to change that. Thus, I will always say the nastiness we believe in is the nastiness we've become. So think the devil has and have corrupted every human on the face of this planet. And as humans, we see this yet refuse to change self, to save self and the world we live in. Then we complain, cry to God for a saving grace. God did not procreate with the children and people of death, Satan. We as humans did that. We as humans brought forth evil in this world. Therefore, we as humans are to be blamed for death and the chaos that is plaguing earth, this world. So, no matter how much we cry and how much you pray, God is truly not listening to billions of you because you are not a true part of life. The true, the true life, the life and world of the true and living God, literally. You cannot turn over your life to death, then expect God to accept you in his world. That will never happen. So, yes, it is wise and true to break away from lies and beg, ask God for forgiveness for sinning against him. Because a lot of us say, oh, we sin against man. We also sin against God, and the sins that we do against God doesn't mean that God is going to forgive us for it. God will not forgive us for it. So, what God has done is that God has moved away from humans to let us live by the immoral standards we accept, the immoral standards we are given to live by as well as die by. Life isn't about hate, and we know the devil hate life, the true and living God. Oh my gosh, does the devil ever hate God, the true and living God? All you have to do is just look at their so-called holy Bible. We are given nastiness. Their nastiness is holy, and this is what they have given us. They've lied against the true and living God. They've lied against humans all over. Everything is all a lie. And as humans, we gobble up these lies and think that God is going to save us. No, God is not going to save us. What God has done is that God has walked away from us. You know, we know the devil cannot tell the truth because the devil, Satan, is the true master of lies. Oh my God, is Satan and his children and people the masters of lies? And I'm going to go back to their Bible, that nasty and lying book that they have used to deceive nations upon nations upon nations for years and centuries. And you all think that book is good? Mm-mm-mm. Listen, the devil and his children cannot truly love. The devil and his children can only love. Thus, hate, the hate of blacks, that is ingrained in their physical and spiritual DNA. So, if you as black people think that, oh, the hatred that whites have for black is learned, it is not learned. It's not fully, for some, it's learned, but for a lot of them, that hatred is ingrained in their physical and spiritual DNA. So that hatred is passed down in their genes from generation onto generation. There is a curse, and Satan's children are cursed. They are the cursed seed of life. So, because they are the cursed seed of life, they give you all that is nasty to curse you also, as well as let God move away from you, take his life away from you. So, as black people, when we follow the lies of demons and or Satan's children or the devil's children and seed, we are literally and truly cursing ourselves, because God walk away from us. God take himself away from us. You know, for me, and I'm going to tell you this, and some of you guys will disagree, but in life there is love and then there is true love. Now, with love, love is a sin. Love is spiteful. Love is deadly. Love is possessive. Love is abusive. Love kills, lie, and more. Therefore, it's the ones that say they love you, hurt you, tie you to them. Oh man, do they ever tie you to them? Abuse you, control you, possess you, kill you, and more. Thus, humans love cannot truly love, because truth and goodness is truly not in billions, literally and true. Their physical and spiritual DNA is void of all truth and goodness. And this, some of you guys do not know. So, no, life can never be a true and good walk in the park due to the ill, sick, satanic, and or demonic people we live amongst globally. Blacks refuse segregation and separation. Therefore, blacks will always be they're used, abused, controlled, abused, roadkill, and more. As blacks, we need our own economic system of truth and goodness. We need to change the way we are living and start living by the truth of God and the goodness of God. One of the things that, as blacks, many of you truly do not know is that when God walk away from you, God leave you to be used, abused. Everything that is evil is thrown upon you, because that is what you accept. And many of you say, no, we did not. No, we did not. The white place is wicked, this and that. No, I repeat, when we as black people walk away from God, God leave us to what we have accepted. So because black people gave up God for death, we sinned. We did wrong. Our ancestors sinned. They did wrong. We did, as black people, give up God. So when we, as black people, give up God, the true and living God, all knowledge of God is taken from us. And this, a lot of you do not know. Black people has and have been a race of people that are intellectual. Our knowledge far surpasses that of the different races. What we know, the other races do not know. What we can do, the different races cannot do. And no matter how much God has been trying to save us, trying to show us certain things, we refuse to listen. We refuse to think, and we refuse to see the truth. One of the greatest assets that Blacks have and has is knowledge, the knowledge to create, the knowledge to build, the knowledge to teach. And yes, Blacks have done this in the past, but this generation in the past 400 years and more have and has lost that knowledge. Energy, we know how to use energy because energy is a key component to life. Vibration is a key component to life. Space is a key component to life. Our water is also a key component to life. Time, oh my gosh, time is also a key component to life. As Blacks, we knew time. We could tell time, true time. And this is why they said, well, the people in ancient Egypt knew time. This is something that we know. We know how to make time work for us. But like I said, when we gave up God, we cast our black God aside, which is the true and living God. God left us. God said, okay, I've been trying. You're not listening. You want what the devil has? Okay, go. Because God knew we were going to be abused. God knew they were going to enslave us. God knew they were going to kill us. God knew they were going to taint us. God knew that they were going to separate us from life. So for those who listened, they got separated from God. And this is why we are trying to find God and cannot, because we no longer know time. We know we're no longer clean beings. We've become unholy. We've become unclean. Thus, the moral decay globally right now. So, as children and people of God, it's time for us to start thinking, start listening, and getting back to where we once were. Once we break away, separate ourselves, truly separate and segregate ourselves from the devil's children and people, life becomes easy because we are no longer living their way. We are living the way of God. We are living clean. So once we start to get back to God and start living clean, the knowledge of God will be opened up unto you. We will gain knowledge again. We will gain the support of God. We will gain the protection of God. Like I've told you in some of my videos, the environment of earth can change, meaning that as Black people, once we start living righteous, meaning start living clean and give up the immorality or the lack, or stop living lawless and as people without morals. Once we start living morally and clean, you know, life, we can expand earth because earth is expandable. A lot of people say there's no scientific basis for that, for this, but no, like I said, black knowledge is not white knowledge. Black knowledge is not the knowledge of the different races. What we can do, they cannot do. What we know, the different races do not know. So, yes, Earth is expandable. We can change the dynamics of Earth. We can create a different space for us here on Earth that the devil cannot come into. And this is where energy and time come in. And a lot of you do not know this because we've been brainwashed by their lying scientific system their lying systems of life, because they don't know. They truly don't know. This is why, too, some are in Egypt raping the dead, thinking that the dead is going to, what they find the dead has, would reveal to them, meaning how to bypass death, how to live longer, and all those things. But that will never, ever happen, because what they do not know is that the true ancients are further in time. And like I said, you need to know time. The ancients did not leave their technology behind for demons to find. God would never ever let that happen. So, as Blacks, we need to find ourselves, we need to think, we need to do to save us. I know God has told me that Blacks will not listen to me. So, therefore, we as Blacks have listening, we lack listening skills. We've been so brainwashed into lies that we believe lies are going to save us. We know that the devil and their children are master liars, and they will do anything by any means necessary to get us to sin and go against the law and laws of life, which is the true and living God. And this is what they are doing. And as Blacks, we can no longer, live by their immoral standards, their immoral way. We have to find a true way for ourselves. So, therefore, we have to start listening. Yes, it's not all Blacks that are good, but for you, the good one that need a better way of life, start thinking, start doing, because as God told me, it is going to get worse. So the worst is yet to come. So therefore, the children and people of God, we have to separate and segregate ourselves from the devil's children in order to be saved. We have to gather truthfully, because, like I said, we can change the dynamics of earth if we come together truthfully. We can save us, but we cannot save the devil's children and people. Death have to take them, and death is going to take them, because God will never ever let the children and people of evil or the devil and or Satan continue to hurt his people. Once you are walking right and living right, God will protect you. God will show you the way. And this is what I'm here to do. I am here to show you the different ways, and or show you the way. Truth is out there. You just need to find it. And I'm trying to give you the truth. So please listen and adhere to the word and truth of God. Satan's children and people will never give you the truth. They don't, because they don't have life. They know not life. So they cannot give you life. The only one that can give you good and true life, that is God. God is the only one. So listen, 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 listen. And on that note, I am going to leave off on this video, but look into what I said and go to God. Go to God. But when you go to God, do me a huge favor. Do not go down on your hands and knees and go to God, because I never forget this. I will tell you this forever, forever, ever, 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 ever. When you go on your knee and pray, and even listen, Bob Marley even tell you this too, when you go on your knee and pray, you are praying to the devil. You are praying to death. All that is unclean. So it is wise and true to just sit on your chair, sit on your sofa, lay upright in bed. And even if you're on the toilet, you know, sit on your toilet and pray. Talk to God in that way. Do not be like those that go down on their hands and knees and pray. Because when you go on your hands and knee and pray, trust me, with every word of truth and every truth of the true and living God, you are cursing yourself. It is a curse for you to go on your knees and pray. You are literally cursing yourself, as I said, and God taught me this. So I'm teaching you this. Never ever go on your knees and pray. Never look down and pray. Look up and pray. Therefore, sit upright and pray, because life, good and true life, do not go down. Good and true life go up. Death goes down, but life, good and true life, cannot go down. Good and true life can only go up. So keep that with you. Also, teach your children this, and teach your children, tell your children to tell their children to never go down on their hands and knee and pray. They are cursing themselves when they do that, because guess what? We put the dead in the earth. We put our garbage in the earth. When we defecate, some of us have outdoor latrine or toilet where we poo in the earth, pee in the earth. So when you go down on your hands and knees and pray, you are praying to all that is nasty, all that is unclean. So therefore, you are telling God that you do not want life. You are an unclean being. Okay? So let me just finish off, because, you know, I went off. Well, no, I didn't go off in that way, but, you know, knowledge is good. And once you can, once you know good and true knowledge, once you know the truth, you can now start to live clean and, seek, when you're living clean, you can seek favors from God, and God will favor you. Okay? So, with that being said, thank you for watching this video. Please like it. Like this video if you can by giving it a thumbs up. Share this video as well. You know, comment. Please comment, 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 because I do read your comments. And if you can, but you are not obligated to do so, please subscribe to my channel. It is a blessing, and it will be a blessing for me as well as for you if you subscribe to my channel, because I'm trying to give you knowledge, and I know God will bless you once you start listening and doing the good that you can for you, as well as turn on your notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you are notified. So, as it's a little snowy day over here in the T.R. Toronto, wherever you are, if it's sunny, enjoy the sun. Just give God thanks that you are in a warm climate and everything is good for you. So take care, people. Bye for now. Until another video.